All right, hello everybody, and welcome to my second trading video here. It is Monday, August 23rd, 2021. It was a pretty slow day for me. I got tied up with work around the market open, so I wasn't able to really pay attention and start trading until about 11 this morning. So I missed all of the early morning action there. I did have one play on Peloton here, another option, so we can just get into this. So at about 1 o'clock, 12:56 today, I put in the order to buy a put, which means that I think the stock is going to be going down. It's the difference between a put and a call for $100. And I put in an order for $203, which I was willing to pay for that, and I got filled on that. I did put in another order actually to try and buy another contract at $193, so I could have two of them and it would bring my average to 198, but I did not get filled on that second one, unfortunately. But we'll get into the chart here. So like I said, I did miss the open, so I didn't see all of this. Not that there's really a play there for me, it's just really choppy. But when it did kind of run back up here and test the red to green of Friday's closing price is when I got interested in it. And so I put in my order right here when we saw this big red candle there. And I was just gonna risk, another 50 cents of movement. If it went green on the day, I would have cut it for a small loss. But I thought once it turned here, since it had just been going back and forth through VWAP for the most part all day, it wasn't really honoring that. I thought that we'd get a pretty massive pullback here and potentially be making a new low a day. As you can see, we did not get that huge pullback, unfortunately. I did get in right around here was where I got executed while it was just right around 107.50, and it just kind of chopped around sideways. I was just up and down like $5 or so the whole time pretty much. And then right up here is when I tried to get that second contract. Let's see the time on that, 143 was when I put in that order. So that was, right here with this big candle with a long wick there that tested that green move. It was 2 cents shy of going green on the day and, pulled right back. So I was trying to add another contract just because it would, for the pullback, then I'd be making double the money with double the contracts there, and it would give me a little bit better average. And if it did go green on the day, realistically, I'm only going to lose another $5 maybe when I cut it. So I just thought the upside there was really worth it. But like I said, unfortunately, I did not get filled on that second contract. So I just had the one. And then once it failed that test, it did, have a decent little drop off there and kind of went sideways for a little bit once again. And then once we came down to VWAP here and it bounced off of it, I did think about just selling there in case it, bounced and tested red to green move again. But like I said, the entire day, except for right here, it had just been going back and forth through VWAP. So to me, I typically like to honor these like VWAP and red to green moves on the first test of it. But if something's going back and forth through VWAP all day long, to me, it just seems like that indicator is, just a little less meaningful on the day. So it did bounce off there. And once I saw that, I was just willing to, kind of let it play out for the rest of the day here. Like I said, it just wasn't really honoring VWAP anyway, so it did crack back below VWAP, and that's when I really did think that we were going to get a major pullback here and new low of days for sure. Unfortunately, we got a little bounce here, pulled back once again, and then got another bounce into the close right around VWAP, and I ended up just selling out of this for a small profit right before the close. Like I said in my first video, you can't trade options in after hours, so you have to do it by 4 o'clock Eastern time, and I didn't really want to swing this just because I don't have enough kind of data and experience with swing trades. And if we zoom out here to the daily chart, you can see we're just kind of in a channel here. It's not, a big breakdown of support anywhere. There's, it's not a breakout anywhere upwards, so I'm not really sure what to expect from it tomorrow. It does have earnings coming up on Thursday of this week. Stocks sometimes do run up into earnings, just a little hype for them. So I just didn't want to stick around. It was an option for this Friday, so it was going to be expiring soon. And the closer kind of that day is, if you hold it for a day and you don't really get a pullback, if it would have gapped back up even to the 107.50 level where I bought it, because now I just have one less day for it to get down to that $100 strike price that I had, I would probably be, now losing money, not even break even if Peloton was back at the price that I got the option at. So I decided just to lock in profits right here towards the end of the day, 356. Even though it was kind of fading at the close, like I said, I just don't have enough data to really strongly hold that with confidence. And I don't want to just hold a play just to save the day trade, even though this is my second day trade. I had one on Friday, one today, so I'll only have one more option play, or at least a day trade option play this week until Friday. But I don't want a winner to turn into a loser just to try to save a day trade. It's not worth it. So I just got out of it right here, and it was pretty illiquid in after hours. So we'll see what it does tomorrow. But I got out of it at just 220 bucks. So it was a pretty small win of just, $17, I believe. Yeah, 203 to 220. So nothing crazy there. Like 8% win or something like that. If I would have got that second contract up here and got my average to 198 and then had two of them, that would have been nice. It would have been like a $50 winner instead of, just 17, but what can you do? So like I said, a pretty slow day for me personally, but this is just a really nice play. It's getting close to that red to green move, so you have a really clear risk level there. And like I said, if this were to crack below the support levels here and make a new low of day, then that option contract would have really started moving for me. But I did start to notice, at the open, we had this major drop down, and then we had another pullback here, and then another pullback here, and we're just kind of steadily making higher lows throughout the day. So I thought it might have been kind of finding support at that 106 level and just gradually, now at 106.50, you kind of get this bounce, even though it did go below it there. I just figured there's a chance that it's finding support. It might open strong tomorrow and once again turn a winner into a loser. Just to save a day trade isn't worth it. So I just locked in small profits there, which I'm not, can't be upset about that. And then for tomorrow, I've got a few things that I'm looking at. We had a nice move here on NVDA. As you can see, we've got these three big green candles. It did pretty much uptrend just all day today. So we get in here. It's just been steadily climbing the last 2 days. So I am watching this for a first red day and try to get a put on this, probably like a $200 put if the red day's tomorrow. If not, I'll be watching it Wednesday and Thursday for when that first red day does come. And the same idea here with Moderna. I know that even with the COVID vaccines, FDA approval on the Pfizer one, and just more mandates and things like that coming out for other companies, I could see Moderna continuing to run, and it was at about $500 just 2 weeks ago. So I don't necessarily think the red day, it might not be tomorrow, it might not be Wednesday, but one day we will hopefully get a reversal on it. And as you can see here, these were two huge red days. It's like $100 pullback in 2 days. So if we do get a nice red day, this stock does have a really wide range on the days. So puts or calls, on a big green day really can yield some huge percent gains. So those are the two kind of options that I'm watching for the rest of the week as of now. The other plays that'll be more for shares instead of options, which would be in my cash account, here's CARA, C-A-R-A, had an FDA approval come out. So you can see this halt was as they were waiting for the FDA decision it came out around 340 or so, but this is just a news halt. And then the FDA approval was announced. So then you have this big gap up into after hours. And the daily chart on this is really interesting. As you can see, we had, a huge gap up here, and now it gapped down huge just a couple months ago here. So I think now we're right around here at $18. So if we do just come out of the gate green tomorrow, I could definitely see this looking to fill this gap and pushing 25 potentially tomorrow. So I'll definitely have my eyes on that. And then we've got PXLW here, which is another one that I'll be watching just for a breakout over $6. Nothing too crazy here, but you know, it had a nice uptrending day at 52-week highs. It does have 50 million float, which is a little larger than I'm used to trading, but a breakout over 6, I could see this running pretty well tomorrow morning, so we'll see how that opens. And then support.com is probably my main watch for tomorrow as of now. We'll see what pre-market brings. SPRT, this is one that's just heavily shorted. As you can see down here, the most shorted stock, 62% short interest, and that's kind of what made the move happen today. It was, you know, around $9 today, and then had a bit of a short squeeze up to $11.50. So I'll be watching this tomorrow for a break of $11, and I think if we get through there, we'll definitely be retesting this $11.50 level, and you know, potentially be running much further than that. That'll be 52-week highs as well, which is always nice. And that is it for me. We'll see what pre-market brings, but like I said, a pretty slow day for me on a Monday, but just a nice easy play on Peloton here. And that is it. Thank you for tuning back in, and see you tomorrow.